Hello, hello, I'm Sai Kumar. This is Ielts, International English Language Testing System, speaking part 1. Let's discuss some of the common topics, especially in part 1 speaking. First, work. What is your job? Where do you work? Why did you choose that job? Is it a popular job in your country? Do you like your job? Do you get on well with your colleagues? What was your first day like? What responsibilities do you have at work? If you had the chance, would you change your job? Do you plan to continue with your job in the future? Study. What do you study? Where do you study that? Why did you choose that subject? Is it a popular subject in your country? Do you like that subject? Do you get on with your colleagues? What was your first day like? What are the main aspects of your subject? If you had the chance, would you change the subject? Do you plan to get a job in the same field as your subject? Hometown. Where is your hometown? Do you like your hometown? Do you often visit your hometown? What is your hometown like? What is the oldest place in your hometown? What is there for a foreigner to do or see in your hometown? How could your hometown be improved? Has your hometown changed much since you were a child? Is there good public transportation in your hometown? Do you think your hometown is a good place to bring up children? Home. Where is your home? Do you live in a house or a flat? Who do you live with? Are there many rooms in your home? What is your favorite room? How are the walls decorated? What would you change about your home? Do you plan to live there in the future? What facilities are there near your home? What is your neighborhood like? Do most people live in a house in your country? Art. Are you good at art? Did you learn art at school when you were a child? What kind of art do you like? Is art popular in your country? Have you ever been to an art gallery? Do you think children can benefit from going to art galleries? Bicycles. Do you have a bike? How often do you use it? How old were you when you learned to ride a bike? Do many people in your country using bicycles? Do you think using bicycles should be encouraged? Birthdays. Do you usually celebrate your birthdays? How did you celebrate your last birthday? Which birthdays are the most important ones in your country? Do you think children should celebrate their birthdays with a party? Childhood. Do you enjoy your childhood? What is your first memory of your childhood? Did you have a lot of friends when you were a child? What did you enjoy doing as a child? Do you think it is better for children to grow up in the city or in the countryside? Clothes. Are clothes important to you? What kind of clothes do you usually wear? Do you ever wear the traditional clothes of your country? Where do you usually buy your clothes? Have you ever worn a uniform? Do most people in your country follow fashion? Computers. Do you often use a computer? How do you usually get online? Do you prefer desktops or laptops? What do you use your computer for? Do you think it is important to learn how to use a computer? Daily routine. When do you usually get up in the morning? Do you usually have the same routine every day? What is your daily routine? Do you ever change your routine? Is your routine the same today as it was when you were a child? Do you think it is important to have a daily routine? Dictionaries. Do you often use dictionary? What do you use dictionary for? What kinds of dictionaries do you think are most useful? Do you think dictionaries are useful for learning a language? What kind of information you find in a dictionary? Dreams. Do you often have dreams when you are asleep? Do you usually remember your dreams? Do you think dreams are important to remember? Do you ever have daydreamed? What kind of daydreams do you usually have? Drinks. What is your favorite drink? Is it common for people to drink tea and coffee in your country? Did you prefer different drinks as a child? Do you think it is important to drink lots of water? What is a traditional drink in your country for celebrating evenings? What do you often do in the evenings? Do you do the same thing every evening? Do you prefer to spend your evenings with family or friends? Do you ever work or study in the evenings? What is a popular activity for young people in your country in the evenings? Do you do the same thing in the evenings as you did when you were a child? Family and friends. Do you spend much time with your family? Who are you closest to in your family? Do you prefer spending time with your family or friends? Who is your best friend? Are you still friends with people from your childhood? Is family important in your country? Flowers. Do you like flowers? What is your favorite flower? When was the last time you gave someone flowers? Do any flowers have a special meaning in your country? Why do you think women like flowers more than men? Food. What is your favorite food? Have you always liked the same food? Is there any food you dislike? What is a common meal in your country? Do you have a healthy diet? What do you think of fast food? Going out. Do you often go out in the evenings? What do you like to do when you go out? Do you prefer going out on your own or with friends? How often do you go out in a week? Where do most young people like to go out in your country? Happiness. Are you a happy person? What usually makes you happy or unhappy? Does the weather ever affect how you feel? What makes you smile? Do you think people in your country are generally happy people? Do you have a hobby? What equipment do you need for it? Do you think hobbies should be shared with other people? Do you have a hobby as a child? What hobbies are popular in your country? Why do you think people have hobbies? Internet. How often do you go online? What do you use the internet for? How do you get online? Do you have your own computer? What is your favorite website? Do you think children should be allowed unsupervised access to the internet? Languages. How often foreign languages do you speak? When did you start learning your first foreign language? How many foreign languages do children in your country learn at school? Do you think it is important to learn a foreign language? Leisure time. What is your favorite leisure activity? What did you enjoy doing in your free time as a child? Do you prefer to spend your free time with your people or alone? What is a common leisure activity in your country? Do most people in your country get 2 days off a week? Do you think leisure time is important? Music. Do you like music? What is your favorite type of music? Can you sing? Did you learn music at school? If you could learn a musical instrument, what would it be? Do you think music is important? Neighborhood. Neighbors and neighborhood. Do you like your neighbors? Are neighbors usually close to each other in your country? What is your neighborhood like? Do you think your neighborhood is a good place for children? How could your neighborhood be improved? Do you think it is important to have a good relationship with your neighbors? Newspapers. How do you usually get your news? Do you often read the newspapers? What kind of news do you usually follow? How do most people get the news in your country? Do you think international news is important? Noise. Do you live in a noisy place? What kinds of sounds you hear on a daily basis? What Where do you go to spend time in peace and quiet? Are there any sounds which you think are pleasant? Do you have any noisy friends? Patience. Are you a patient person? Do you ever get impatient? When was the last time you lost your patience? Which person in your family is the most patient? Pets. Do you have a pet? Do you like animals? What is your favorite animal? What is your popular pet to have in your country? Do you have a pet as a child? Why do people have pets? Reading. Do you often read? What is your favorite kind of book to read? Do you often read newspapers? Do you have any ebooks? What books did you read as a child? Do you think it is important to encourage children to read? Shopping. Do you like shopping? What is your favorite shop? Do you prefer shopping alone or with others? What kinds of shops are there where you live? Have you ever bought anything online? Do you think men and women have different opinions about shopping? Thank you very much, students. These are the questions you need to practice, and we will discuss them in the class. See you in the class. Bye-bye.